Right now, depression is more impactful than the olden days. It doesn't mean in the olden days there was no depression. We keep on saying, at even our fathers or our grandfathers, they'll be like, oh, in our days, there was no depression. You had to make things work. You had to, you didn't just give up. But it doesn't mean there was no depression. It just meant they were tools. They had tools to navigate around certain things like sasa hizo depression. Nowadays, those tools are not there, and we have to accept that. You can't come and tell a child right now, you know what, depression is a state of mind. Bro, this thing, they already have this information. In the olden days, there was no information that there's depression. Bro, you have to be productive. Laziness was being punished in the olden days. In this generation, laziness is not being punished. So in the olden days, the tools were there. The environment around our fathers and our forefathers, the environment was supporting a healthy mind. The environment was supporting a productive society. It wasn't, the tools were there to help you navigate through certain emotions, by helping you become a certain person. Nowadays, there's nothing like that. We are not given any tools to navigate our emotions. Nowadays, the generation is about achievement and status. It is not about awareness and sustainable relationships. We are in a generation right now, we are being told who to hate and who to fear by our own leaders. You can't say that was the same thing in the olden days. In the olden days, the leader was basically doing what was to help the society. The leader was a servant of the people. But right now, it's all based on, there's no truth. It's all based on lie. It's all based on manipulation. That's why there are campaigns. Now, with such, imagine you are there hating a tribe, when in reality, you have friends from that tribe, just because you've been told to hate that tribe. You've been told, oh, this tribe, they are thieves. But yet you have friends, you have neighbors who've never stolen from you, but your leader told you to do that. What are you building there? You're building the truth. You're building a generation based on lies. We're in a generation where parents work hard. They exhaust themselves from making ends meet to a point they have no time for themselves, leave alone time for their children. How are you going to equip your children with any tools to navigate? Then unakuja unawambia, depression is a state of mind. Bro, you are not there to guide this child to know that, hey, you know what, when you're depressed, you're supposed to be productive, or you're supposed to do this. You're not there to guide this child, to show this child that actually depression is not, it's a lesson. It's not a problem. It's basically, it's something that awakens you. We're in a generation whereby we are fed that marriage is a perfect fairy tale. Imagine that. Is that the truth? It's not the truth. We are seeing it's not a fairy tale. We are seeing how fucked up that situation is. But wewe unaambiwa it is, wewe vumilia tu, you will see the fruits at the end. Instead of telling these children the truth, instead of telling this generation the truth, hey, you know what? Marriage is not a perfect fairy tale. You have to be ready for that shit. You have to be equipped for that shit. It's not that because you love, then you enter. We're in a generation whereby love is not based on actions, it's based on words. Imagine how manipulative that is. So to a point that someone won't even see the actions as love for as long as they are not told, I love you. It has to come with I love you. Then whether you do the actions or not, me, I'm okay. And you're wondering, when this person is depressed, they'll handle their depression. You're wondering why people out here in relationships are fucked up. When they end the relationship, they can't even fucking move on. It's because of that notion. It is a fairy tale. Oh, when you're in love, love will make things work. Bro, we're in a generation where young boys are told emotions make them weak. Bruh, how many of us have grown? How many of us, we are men right now, and we still have that notion that emotions make you weak? instead of teaching children emotional regulation, emotional intelligence. You are suppressing that kabisa. You're not giving them a tool on how to handle the emotions. Now you are having boys or girls being adults here, chasing dopamine, chasing anything that gives them a high, chasing anything that makes them run away from their own emotions. Chasing the moment it reaches when they are supposed to embrace their emotions, bro, it's a blame game. You are now blaming other people for hurting you. You are now blaming your other people. Bro, you are becoming a victim of your circumstance. You are not a victim of your circumstance. Imagine you can heal from every experience that you go through. Any experience that you go through, you can heal from it. But we've been told we are actually victims of ourselves. That's what has been programmed to us. So there are no tools that this generation is given to navigate through our emotional traumas. Ndio zinakuja zinatuhit sahi. And we can't even blame our parents that they didn't give us these tools. It's because for them, they were not given those tools either. During their time, it was all about it was a communal thing. It wasn't individualism. So the rural-urban migration, the industrialization wasn't considered as a factor in how things have evolved. In how it's no longer communal. There's no a child of the community. This child is just yours. When you get a child, it's just you and the child. You don't have any help. You don't have any tools to do that. Now you are learning as you go. With such a generation, how are you expecting depression not to reoccur? Because right now we are having parents who don't know what they are doing. They are trying to copy their parents who didn't know what they are doing. For them, it's like, you know what, you learn as you go. But for you had a community. For this generation, where is the community? You understand? So, guys, you are not a victim of your circumstance. You can heal from any experience you go through. You don't have to become a victim. If you're going through depression, it's all a matter of you addressing that depression. There's nothing wrong with the depression if you address it. Because after that, you'll have a template. That way, you'll have tools even to give to your kids. You'll have even the template to, use anytime you're in such a situation, any emotional issue. So my people, heal. Be aware, man. Be aware and see through what we are being fed. See through that shit. There's no one who has an answer for anything in this life. You have the answer for your life. Through experiences, you learn and you go through that shit. You learn through your experiences. There's no answer. There's no perfect way on how to live this life. There's just your life. So if you take mistakes as losses, instead of lessons, then it's really going to be a rough time for you. If you take experiences as bad things rather than as things to build you, then it's going to be rough for you. My people, heal.